one and another one comes in. Big up, Chang.
Elly's changed. Elly's changed to Chang.
We went to the intro with Elly there, and we've come back, and she's morphed into Chang. Oh, she's back. Oh, you can tell it's Monday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are in the world. Hope everyone's good and had a nice weekend. It's the start of a week, new week, which means the Premier League is back. Yay! And as always on a Monday, I'm joined by Jimbo, Elly, and Chang. Jimbo, how are you doing?
Excellent, thank you. We had a nice weekend off of YouTube.
We did.
We listened to a couple of streams, didn't we? We listened to Talking Ball while we had our dinner.
Yeah.
And listened to, I can't remember, there was another one we listened to for a while, but it was nice to have a break. Who was it? Hassan, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice to have a break and spend some time with you without YouTube, which I enjoyed.
It was nice. And Queen Elly, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Sorry, because my cat jumped up on me. I dropped my phone on the floor and and I came out the stream. She shocked me because she jumped from the chair onto my lap and then I dropped the phone. So I do apologise. But everybody, I hope you're not suffering too much with the international football. We lost 1-0 to Brazil as well, which was a bit of a downer. But yeah, I did watch Hassan as well, and bloody hell, what a hilarious stream. I love it.
So
I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
There's nothing like when a pussy jumps on your lap, Elly. I can promise you.
God's sake, Jimbo.
By the window now, thank God.
Big up to you, Chang. How are you doing? Sorry for my husband's crudeness on this Monday afternoon.
What? I was talking about cats.
I'm doing very well here in Southeast Asia. It's 8:30 or slightly past 8:30 here in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. It's currently raining cats and dogs outside, but I'm not going to let it damper my start to the working week. I had a very fun international weekend. Truth be told, the South Korea and Thailand game for one. I'm actually wearing the Thailand national jersey, and the jersey sponsor is none other than Chang Beer.
Oh, that's amazing!
Wow.
Chang Beer is also the official sponsor for Everton, if memory serves me right.
Yeah.
So this is Chang Beer. So it was a fantastic watch along I did. I think it was not Spurs Vision TV. I can't remember which channel it was. I did the watch along, but it was a very entertaining 1-1 game. Son Heung-min, our great club captain that he is, he scored just before the half-hour mark, and I did post the clip of his goal on some WhatsApp channels. I'm not sure if anyone's seen that, but it was a fantastic goal. I would absolutely love to see him replicate that kind of goal scoring prowess in front of goal at home against Luton this coming weekend. But it was kind of bittersweet, put it this way, this weekend, because yes, since the very damaging away loss to let's see now, what's it? Oh my goodness, Fulham. Yes, it's Fulham. It was Fulham. I completely purged. I thought I've completely purged the memory from my mind, and yes, I think it's nearly gone. So yeah, it was good to see us not play this week and just kind of give us a sort of break from any more disappointing heartache. But seeing how the international players have made it through their first round of games before the second round and then returning back from international duty, I am raring to go. 10 games to go in the league season, and I cannot wait for this coming weekend's fixtures. Back to you, Miss Kate.
Thank you. I've just realised I didn't straighten my hair this morning. I meant to and I forgot. But anyway, moving on. Let's have a look who's in the chat. We've got Scott Colliver. Big up to you. Hope you are doing well. Potato Stew's in the house. We did have a good weekend. Thank you. Good morning to Jose. Says morning, Katie. Afternoon, Drew la la. Hope you are doing well. Big up Lee Smithy Smith. Says Auntie Kate, Jimbo, the Queen, and Mr. Chang. Big up. Big up Lee. Big up Kate and Jimbo from River Night. Morning to James, the Tottenham fan. James, I posted your site in my Facebook group for people to subscribe. Please go over and subscribe to James. He's a new YouTuber trying to build up his subscribers. So yeah, please go over. Afternoon, Lily White Lane. Robbie's in the house. Hope you're well. Please go over as well. Woo! Phil P's in the house. Big up Phil. Well, GBC fan is saying Wagwan, Jim, Kate, Chang and Elly. Reverend Knight says Southgate out. These internationals are boring me to tears. Do you know what? Yeah. I couldn't agree more. At least we got a win for Sven in the LFC Legends game. Couldn't be more proud of our legends for making it happen. He did look poorly sold, didn't he? Poor old Sven. I did feel for him. Mia's in the house saying Jimbo loves his pussies. Dear. Big up Mark's CFC. Yeah, hope you're well, lovely. Couva Bear's in the house. Big up Couva. DJ Samuel's coming in. Yeah, coming in with a 2-month super chat. Big up to you, DJ Samuel.
Lovely lad.
Okay, can I just ask you, what's James's channel called?
James the Tottenham fan.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave Caro. Hope you're well. I will post a link if I can find it and put it in my chat.
Not James the Giant Peach, James the Tottenham fan.
Yeah. Good morning, Rakdos. Good to see you. Kuva saying, "Oh my God, Kate, that unstraight hair is unforgivable. I'm subbing immediately." Do you know what, Kuva? Yeah. I've just noticed my hair's a mess and I've realised why. But hey, it is what it is. Counting on you to take some points off those damn gooners, says Revenite to there it is. It's James loves Spurs, Jimbo. James loves Spurs. So please do go over.
What is it? James loves Spurs.
James loves Spurs. My internet is being a swine again today. So I apologise in advance if I drop out at any point because I don't know what's the matter with it.
Hey, you should whip out your hair straighteners.
Yeah,
you should whip out your hair straighteners so that Cooper doesn't unsubscribe.
Yeah, I need to do something. Yeah, Mia's put the link in chat. Please sub to James. There we go, everyone. Please go over and sub. I think he's trying to get to his first 50. We've all been there, so yeah, please go and sub. And it's not James and the Giant or James Bond. It's just James. So yeah, obviously today is no Premier League to talk about, so I thought I'd go through the old newspapers, have a little look and see about transfer rumours and things that's going on. This has broke this morning. Tottenham player reveals he's been playing with a fractured toe for 2 to 3 weeks, suffered injury in Spurs training. Bentancur has come out and said that he has a broken toe and has been playing for 3 weeks with a broken toe that he picked up in training. He was interviewed after the international game and revealed that, yeah, he's got a fractured toe, the poor little lamb. So whether that's a reason for his dip in form, I'm not sure. What's everyone's thoughts? Elly, what's your thoughts?
Well, having broken my toe twice last season, right, I can really sympathise with him. But to play football with it is a bit of a dangerous thing, you know, because you can rupture the tendons around the bone, and it's not a very good thing because it can swell quite badly. So I was a football coach when I first broke my toe, and I know that you shouldn't really be playing with it, just put it that way. So I think the club should have some responsibility as well, you know, like if they want to put Bentancur in cotton wool, that's the way to do it, because if he aggravates that as well, we're going to lose him for even longer.
Yep, agreed. Chang, any thoughts on it?
It's kind of sad, really, that we have these players on our roster who are coming out in the media, in papers and an interview, revealing that they have had these injuries that they have had to play through and bear with the pain and the discomfort when they take to the pitch or when they take to the training ground. It really brings to mind what exactly are our medical staff doing when it comes to actually assessing the fitness and also the suitability of our players when it comes to Big Ange selecting his starting 11 and his bench players. It would really pain me to say this, but something drastic needs to be done with our medical staff. I would actually prioritize rehiring a brand new roster of a medical team, compared over any new summer signing, because that medical staff, that though the medical personnel in charge of the health, the fitness, and also the well-being of our players, they should be prioritized, as they are the ones who are actually keeping these players away from the operating table or away, for lengthy periods of time on the sidelines. And to read this again, after we've heard Son Heung-min come out, after we've heard Eric Dyer come out, even Richarlison earlier this season, it just begs the question: what exactly our medical staff doing?
Yeah, I agree, Chang. Jim, anything to add on poor old Benny's toe?
No, I just subbed to James. That's so anyone I miss Kate saying hello to, hello. And I'm not. I don't know, Kate. I don't know what to say about it, because we seem to have a lot of players that are playing with injuries, don't we? But
yeah,
I don't know. Just sort out the medical staff, please.
Yeah.
And we're not even touching on the players who are relapsing. Players who are relapsing into their injuries. Ryan Sessegnon for one. Manor Solomon came out in social media, and the club put up a statement. The list is endless. Where does it stop? When will it stop?
Yeah, it's not good enough.
It isn't. Not good enough.
You think we've got A-class facilities, A-class manager, we got everything in place, and they're letting us down because we're not seeing the players or even have them on the bench because they're not being treated properly.
Yeah.
And they're getting things wrong as well, Kate. They're diagnosing things wrong, and then they got to backtrack and put it right, and it puts that player back even further.
Yeah, ridiculous. I completely agree. So, the first bit of transfer news. Tottenham could open negotiations with €30 million attacking midfielder who's been compared to Mo Salah. So, according to a report from Quotidiano Sportivo, and I've probably absolutely mullered that name, but there you go. Spurs are at the front of the queue to try to sign Albert Gudmundsson for around €30 million. It's claimed that past negotiations to sign Dragusin from Genoa have put Spurs in good space for the 26-year-old. Gudmundsson comes highly rated, with some comparing him to Mo Salah. The 26-year-old Icelandic international can play both as a forward or attacking midfielder. Inter and Juve are also interested, but he has the same agent as Vicario. So they're saying Tottenham are in quite a good position to get this guy. Do you know anything about this guy? Have you seen anything of him?
I didn't until you sent me the links. I started watching him, and he's quite tasty, He's got really good, quick feet. He's fast. He knows where to position himself to receive balls as well. His movement is fabulous. But, they're not highlight clips. They're full matches that I watched. I watched a couple. And I think he can be a very good attribute because he's got a versatility between midfield and attack. And he's noted as an attacking midfielder. We need another one of those, 100%. Because if Madders goes down again, you see how it affected our team. So we need someone. I'm not going to call him a backup because I hate that word. I'm going to call him a squad player, somebody who can fill in and is just as good or can fill in various positions. It's very handy having a player like that across the front line as well.
Yeah. Chang, have you got anything to add about this guy? Someone's put that they think he's going to Inter 100%.
Well, not someone, about 4 people.
Have they?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But I'm just going by what I'm doing. Paper talks. I don't shoot the messenger. But Chang, any thoughts?
What player is it?
It's Albert Gudmundsson.
Icelandic forward. He's an Icelandic forward, Mr. James. Yeah. I've actually been following him since he transferred over from PSV Eindhoven to AZ Alkmaar in the Eredivisie. He scored something like 16 or 17 goals in 70 over appearances for Alkmaar. And although he doesn't really strike me as a potent or lethal finisher, he is dependable for Isaac Alkmaar before he transferred over to Genoa the previous year in 2022, in which he then went on to score nearly the same amount of goals, 20 over goals in also 70 plus appearances for Genoa in the Serie A. I would only consider him, I only actually seriously consider him if we cannot find a better like for like replacement, or at least a forward of similar quality to Goodmanson. If he is preferring Inter Milan over any other club in Serie A, because that's where he is plying his trade now with Genoa, then I wish him all the best. But if you were to take a look at him, I would urge caution. This is another Timo Werner loan signing incoming if it does happen, because I can't see us really splashing big cash for him for his goals returns versus the number of games he's played. However, there is still quite a long season to go, and he is helping Inter Milan in their title charge over in Serie A. That is what actually compels me the most about his suitability. So if we can't, let's say if we can't land Martinez from Inter Milan, then who knows? Maybe Goodmanson may be a better alternative. The jury is still out on that.
Yeah, good analysis from Chang there. Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
Hi. Good to see you, Leo. I hope you're well. Jim, did you want to add anything about Goodmanson?
Well, if I'm right, I think I'm right. This guy's got affiliations with Arsenal.
One of his relatives used to play for Arsenal.
I think
his
great granddad played for Arsenal.
Correct.
So, not that I think it'd mean much nowadays, but to be honest, I don't know a lot about him. I've read a little bit about him, and I don't really. I'm not going to really comment on him, Kate, because I don't really know much about the guy. I'm only going off what people say, and I've read a little bit about him. I don't know if he's suitable or not. I haven't got a clue.
I mean, with us looking at bringing in a more forward player, does anyone think this could be curtains for Richie? I mean, I've read yesterday Al Hilal are really interested and they're looking to make a bid for him again in the summer. Elly, do you see Richie possibly being on the move?
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of rumours about this, Kate. And, you know, one of them's going to stick, isn't it? So at the end of the day, I think his days are numbered anyway, because when you look at his record, he's not exactly set White Hart Lane alight, has he? So
no.
Although obviously he's had a little bit of a purple patch, but he's been injured a lot. And do we take a risk with him again next season? I can't see Postecoglou wanting to pursue with him anyway, Kate, because there's a good look. He's an all-round good, hard-working centre forward, but is he going to get you 30 goals? No, he's not. Right, so we've got to put our eggs in another basket, I think, and release Richarlison to whatever suitors want him, because at the end of the day, he's not going to produce that amount of goals, and we're missing that. And that could be the difference between us challenging and not challenging next season, because we needed another top goal scorer this season, yet alone next season. So I think his days are numbered myself.
Chang, do you agree with Elly, or do you think Richie
well, I'm kind of reserved on this because I honestly would like to get more out of Richarlison given a chance. I know that he has been given his chance this season and he had that purple patch, but I'm not sure whether it's still his niggling injury that's holding him back, or maybe there are some other issues, his personal life, his family, the things that he spoke openly about during the final few months of Conte in that very disastrous end to our Champions League run. I would say this much about Richarlison: if and when a good enough offer comes for him, I feel we should take it, because no single player is bigger than the club. I feel that with the money that we've paid for him, if we could even get maybe 2/3 or even 3/4 that amount, for what we paid Everton, it should be reinvested in someone that is more tailored or more suited to Big Ange's Ange Ball style. Personally, I wouldn't mind keeping him if he is content to be a bit part player or at least be a backup to whoever is going to be our marquee signing up front. But yeah, I feel that if and when a right price is offered or tabled for Richarlison, we should sell if the price is right. But if not, and if he is content to warm the bench, then by all means, let's just keep him and maybe give him another season, see how he does.
Yeah, I hear you. Jimbo, what are your thoughts on Richie?
Well, I disagree with Elly completely. I think.
Fair enough.
I think I still love you, Elly. I just disagree.
I love you too, Jimbo. It's good to disagree as well.
I think
banter.
I think Postecoglou does like him. I think he likes his passion, the way he fights is his type of player. And I think to myself, a lot of people are forgetting, right, with Richie. He scored 10 goals and 3 assists, and he's been a sub a lot of games. There's been a couple of games he's come on and won us the games with his goals and another game with his assists. I think if he'd have played the whole season, right, like Kane did, I think he would have got over 20 goals. And someone just put GBC, just put in the chat, to get a 30 goal scorer is very exceptional nowadays. There's very few of them. You know, you've got Haaland, you've got Salah, you've got Kane. Who else is there in the Premier League that gets 30 goals? There's not, is there? If there is someone, educate me. But I think Richie, if he'd have played like Kane played, we would have got, right, Paddy, we would have got, he would have got over 20 goals. I still think he'd get between 15 and 20 this season with the last 10 games. So I kind of disagree. And I think that people might say that I'm deluded. I don't really care, but I think that he should stay.
This is my take, right? Everyone knows I'm not Richie's biggest fan. Everybody knows that. But I think if you're going to have him as a backup or a squad player and he can get you 15 to 20 goals every season, he's worth keeping. But it's whether he can get us 15 to 20 goals every season. That's what concerns me. But if you get rid of Richie, I don't know who you bring in. I just don't see anyone out there because they're going to play second fiddle to Sonny.
You know who I would love to get, who's scoring those near enough those many goals, is that Gurek. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's Victor Gurekis. But I think Arsenal are linked with him.
Yeah, I know you mean, yeah.
He can score the goals and his movement is fabulous.
Yeah.
And he's got an eye for a goal. He's one that should be on our radar because he went to Coventry and he smashed it there. And he smashed it everywhere he's been. He's presently at Sporting Lisbon, I believe. Right. So I just feel he's the type of player that I like because of his movement. I like strikers who can move quickly into space and create space for themselves to score, and also can take the ball and score worldies as well. And that he's got it all, this boy. So he's the sort of player we should be linked with. But coming back to Richarlison, I would say he is worth keeping, like Jim said, as a squad player. Yeah, he is because of his work ethic, especially because that's one thing you get from Richie is the passion and the work ethic. All right, he just has to add more goals, and because he's not a proven goal scorer, it doesn't mean that he can't improve. Because remember, I think he's 26 now. He can still improve even more. So maybe I was a bit hasty, but to have him in the team as well, in the squad, wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah. Gaio Queres is 100 million euros and Arsenal are looking at him. I know you mean, because
he's worth it as well because he's fabulous.
Well, yeah, but he's got to prove it in the Premier League. It's a hell of a lot of money, but I don't see Daniel Levy paying
that. Kate. I really do get that because the Premier League is a different step up, and you've got better defenders as well.
Daniel Levy is not paying 100 million for any player.
No.
Yeah, true. So maybe they should give us him for 99.99.
the next bit of news, well, rumours. It says Atalanta and Netherlands ace Tuin Koopmeiners. I don't know if that's how you say it. Yeah. Has been linked with a move to Spurs in recent months. Tuttosport reported last month that Spurs have knocked on the door of the Italian club about the 26-year-old, and Koopmeiners himself has said he wishes to leave Atalanta in the summer, and said that he would even consider the rainy days to move to certain clubs in England. He's been shining for Atalanta, registering 112 appearances, 26 goals, 12 assists, and 20 Netherlands caps to his name. However, he's looking at around £50 million, and Liverpool, Man United, and Napoli are also interested. Anyone know anything about this geezer?
I know a little bit about him. I know at Atlanta he scored 24 goals in 88 games, and he was previously at Young AZ, and then he went on to the full team, AZ to Alkmaar, they're called. Yeah, and he scored 35 goals in 116 games. So he's very good return from midfield, you know, and he's a good creator as well. So I remember him from about 2019-2020 season. He was very, very good, and that's when he broke into the actual AZ Alkmaar team, right? And I think he's a do you know who he reminds me of? Christian Eriksen a bit, because he's very relaxed on the ball, very calm, cool, calm and collected. He doesn't panic, yeah, and he's quite a classy player. So he would be a very good addition to our side, because we need, like I said, we need to bolster that midfield. We really do, because with Basuma going off the boil as well, and we've got young Starler in Saar, but we're probably going to lose either it's going to be Højbjerg. We're going to lose Højbjerg. So we need a player like him, and we also need another player better than Højbjerg, who can do that number 6 role. And then we can release these type of players who've got a bit more flair about them to create for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we keeping you up, Jimbo?
No, I'm just. I was just laughing at some of the comments, but Paddy just made a good comment about shouldn't believe everything you read on social media. But I honestly believe, right? I honestly believe that Postecoglou has got his players picked out, and they've been working on them during this season, ready to come in early the next season to go on tour with them. I really do think they've got them all sorted who they want, but and I don't think it'll get leaked. I think he'll want to keep it very hush hush. So I think that Paddy's right there. I think he's 100% right.
Big up to Rodney Roberts, and also Paddy and Rob Belcher and Biggie Biggs, who have all come in. Big up to you all. Chang, do you know anything about Koopmeiners? I'm being told is his name. Koopmeiners.
Yes, that's correct. Koopmeiners, I did know about him because of his link, or rather his partnership with Gudmundsson back when they were both in AZ Alkmaar together in the Eredivisie. I believe it was from 2018 to 2021. And when you actually put these two names together, seeing as how they played together in the same club in the Eredivisie, and that they both moved over to the Serie A sometime in 2021 and 2022, it got me thinking that if we were to sign either one of them, why not just go for the pair of them? Because from what I'm reading here, both Gudmundsson and Koopmeiners, they actually formed a very positive partnership for 3 consecutive years when they were together in the Eredivisie with AZ Alkmaar. If I'm thinking along the lines, if you can ship off someone like, say, a Lo Celso, if you can sell Lo Celso and Richarlison, we should actually look to reinvest those funds and go for a double soup. Go for a double soup of Koopmeiners and Gudmundsson. Bring them over to N17. See if their partnership, if their link up today is as good as it was back when they were in the Eredivisie. Because right now, I'm thinking of getting a sort of understanding, a sort of partnership or chemistry going on between our number 10 and our number 9, or even our number 8 and number 9. I would love nothing more to see than Coop Miners and Goodmanson brought in together if we can raise the funds and clear off some of the deadwood to make way for them.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, talking of deadwood, Jed Spence.
What
Hill,
a segue.
Yeah, well done. What a perfect link that was. Alistair Gold has reported 11 players who could potentially be sold. Pierre, Brian Hill, Skippy, Spence, Rodon, Ndombele, Sessegnon, Reguilon, Tanganga, Whiteman or Austin, Royale or Davis. Then I put, of that 11, any surprises? And if it came down to it, would you rather sell Whiteman or Austin, Royale or Davis, Pierre or Skip? Jimbo, I'll go to you first.
Well, Whiteman and Austin, I'm not really sure. Who's which one's the coloured goalkeeper we got?
Austin.
Oh, yeah. He's good. I like him. I watch him in training, and I tell you something. I think he's got something about him. I really do.
You always did that.
I watch a lot of the training, and I watch a lot of the kids training on Spurs play. And I think Austin's got something about him. I really do. I think that he could be a good keeper, given the chance. But it annoys me because when we needed a keeper and we was putting Foster in, I think they should have stuck Austin in because I think that it would have given him a real boost. And I'd tell you what, in training, I think he's brilliant. So I would definitely keep Austin. I wouldn't let him go. Royal Davis, I think they both got a little bit about them, but to me, neither one of them. If I had to keep one, I would probably say Davis. Who else was on there? Ndombele. Everybody knows my thoughts on him. I wouldn't sell him. I'd shoot him. Who else was on there, Kate?
You don't have to go through all of them, darling. I'm just asking if there was any surprises. Brian Hill, Spence, Rodon, Reguilon, Tanganga, Sessegnon.
Well, Spence, I'm still not 100% sure about him, but I mean, he's meant to be playing really well at the minute, isn't he? Where he is. So, obviously, Postecoglou didn't see anything in him because he let him go. But all the others, just get rid of them. Get rid of them. I wouldn't get rid of Austin. 100%, I'd keep Austin. I like Austin.
Chang, any thoughts on the 11 that could be off? And out of those 3 pairings, who would you pick? Who would you sell?
Of those 11 names that were named, I think it's no surprise they haven't really lit up N17, nor have they made any major contributions or, really lights up the Premier League. And there's a very good reason why Big Ange doesn't fancy them. Neither did Conte before him. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we just sold like a starting 11 or like a first 11 of non-starters or bench warmers, starting with those 11. But for those three pairs that you mentioned, Brendan Austin and Alfie Whiteman, the goalkeepers, because I am a goalkeeper myself, and the one thing that really bugs me is seeing so many goalkeepers coming up from the academy, not really given their chance to prove their worth. This actually goes way back to something like 2014 or 2015 when we had Luke McGee. If anyone remembers Luke McGee, he was a very promising 19-year-old that he also came to Malaysia, and I was kind of impressed with the way he was training, with the way he took part in the first 11 warm-up and also the second half of the friendly between Malaysia and the Spurs national team that year. It's kind of sad to see goalkeepers, especially those from academy, not given a chance. But I totally and completely agree with everything that Mr. James Boxall just mentioned with regards to keeping either Whiteman and Austin. I think those are really good, dependable goalkeepers. As a matter of fact, I'll actually choose either of them as the second goalkeeper, or at least the bench goalkeeper, which I think is Austin right now. He's filling in for Foster, who's still injured. And if and when hopefully this doesn't happen, but if and when Vicario does pick up injury, I will say that Austin is more dependable. And with regards to the other two pairings, Royal and Davis, I think as much as I would very much like to keep Ben Davis, as he still is the Welsh national captain and a very long-term servant, but let's be honest, his the sell-by date for Davis has long overdue, and this is not about trying to recoup anything that we paid Swansea for him, but pretty much like you've done your part. You've been a loyal servant, but I think it's time to move on to someone else, maybe from the academy, who can fill a void, or maybe someone who can challenge, say, Mickey Van der Ven for that left centre back, or even fill in for Udogi if and when Udogi is injured. I would like to keep Royal because I feel that there still is a right back or a right wing back in there that can challenge Pedro Porro if and when he gets his chance to do so. But the last pairing between Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Skip, I think it's a no-brainer to just hang on to Skip, because Skip has come through the ranks, and it would really pain me to see yet another Ryan Mason or let's see now who else came through our ranks. Harry Winks. Yep, that's the one who was sold recently to Leicester City. Yep, Harry Winks and so many other midfielders who came through the ranks. Skip should be kept, and I'm pretty sure Pierre-Emile Højbjerg will look to leave to secure consistent game time, seeing as how the Euros are coming up. So, yep, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg will be my choice to sell. But if he does decide to stay, well, he's a good squad player. And I know he only has about a year left on his contract, but if he wants to extend the contract for another further year beyond the Euros, then I'm all for keeping him.
Elly, thanks, Chang. Elly, what are your thoughts, my lovely?
Yeah, with Skippy, it's one of those ones where you feel, is he going to progress enough for us to keep him as a squad player? In particular, like Chang said, it hurts my heart because he's such he's come from our youth academy and he's such a Spurs man. You know, he loves Spurs. He supported Spurs as a boy, you know. And I remember Steve Perriman saying don't ever underestimate a homegrown talent, you know, somebody who's come through the ranks. So I would prefer to keep him, although he's not like he's not the top notch. I think he deserves it just for being loyal to our club as well. And he could be a squad player and play in the FA Cup or the League Cup, or, you know, if we make Europa League, maybe in the Europa League, because I think he deserves that as as a loyal player. In regards to the other players, I think sell them all. I'll agree with Jimbo about Austin, right? But there's another keeper that we've got called Josh Keeley, who's even better than him, but he's younger. He's a lot younger, so we need him to develop even more. So it'd be good to give him a reward as well as our number 2, because I'm telling you, I've watched him warming up as well, Jimbo, and I think he's a very athletic goalkeeper. You know, I think he deserves it as well. So some players, you know, they come to the club from another club and they're not homegrown. Like we've seen it with Ndombele, we've seen it with Spence. You know, like they just don't have their heart in the club, and it's nice to have a couple just around who've got their heart in the club as well. And it's good for the dressing room as well, because they can tell them stories about, you know, coming up in the academies and what they experience and, you know, their journey in general. But the rest of them, even Pierre, because he doesn't want to stay anyway, because he wants to be a first teamer. That's one thing for sure, and he's not going to get that. So he's going to move on. So I just think the players that we bring in to replace them, I hope there's enough of them to make our bench strong as well, Kate. Because if we have a few homegrowns on the bench plus a stronger, say 5 or 6, that's going to make a big difference to our season. You know, a good 6, I think, for the bench, who are nearly as good or just as good as the ones they're going to come on for. You know, that level. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the 11 he's put is lovely, but I mean, who on earth's going to buy Sessegnon? Who's going to buy Reguilón? Who's going to buy Ndombele? I just don't see anyone coming in with offers for these players. I just don't.
I think maybe a championship teams for some of them, you know, not premiership teams, because they won't take a risk on Sessegnon, because he's a crock, isn't he? Every time you think he's going to come back. So I think maybe a championship team might give him a little try, you know. But we won't get very much for any of them, will we?
No, and that's the thing. Daniel Levy's got to accept we're not going to get a lot for these players, rather than hanging on to them to try and get a few more million. He needs to get them off the wage bill. Yeah. Big up, Colin. What I will say is if it came down to Whiteman or Austin, I'm not bothered. Let them both go. Royale or Davis, I'd always pick anyone above Emerson Royale because I just think he's a fraudulent player. And Pierre or Skip, Skip again because of the homegrown thingy. That's one of the big things. But like I say, it's a nice thought, but I just don't see us getting rid of all them. I mean, when you think Ndombele, he's done nothing. He's gone out on loan. It's just an absolute waste of oxygen.
Making 200 grand a week.
He's a waste of space, that's for sure. But the thing is, where he is now, Galatasaray, he doesn't even get into their team, hardly ever. No. So that just shows you that even a team in a lower league don't even want to play him.
Yeah,
you know, because of his attitude, he hasn't got the attitude to go on the pitch and give his 100%. That's all you expect from a player, talented or not, is to give his all. Yeah, and he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I despise him. I mean, Colin says Ndombele cost so much and he made out like a bandit, and that's all on Levy. He shouldn't have paid him like that. Yeah, I mean, he's given this ridiculously long contract and no one's going to pay his wages because he's a lazy fat bum.
Yeah, but is it on Levy or is it on the people that advise Levy?
Well, it's on all of them. But Levy signs the checks and says the final yes.
He believes in the people that he's employed, and right at that time, and then when he realises they didn't do the job, he chopped them. At least he chopped them and got in some new people, you know. So that, like he said, he wants to change. So we've got to give Levy a little bit of leeway now. If he has really changed, we're going to see it this season, aren't we? When the transfer window's open in the summer and January, what he does.
Yeah. Go on, Chang.
I'm just going to add something very quickly to what Mr. James just mentioned earlier with regards to Ndombele. I felt that when I was watching that All or Nothing Amazon documentary, that little part in the middle, towards the middle of the season, when Ndombele was openly discussing with his agent, with Levy, and I think the coaching staff, as to how he doesn't really find himself suited for the Premiership, or he has doubts about staying in London and stuff along those lines. I felt that was actually the best possible chance, the best opportunity to move him on when he was still proving that he had some worth about him, but he hadn't completely completed a full season under Jose Mourinho. I felt that was actually the best possible time to sell him. What a shame it's turned out to be that we actually held on to him against his will, maybe against the better judgment of Jose Mourinho and the coaching staff that were still trying to nurture him and try to show him a better way to, play his football and conduct himself as a professional player. I think that chance is long gone, and we will be lucky to even get even a fraction of his purchase fee or his transfer fee, given the way he's just conducted himself like an utter waste of space. That's the best I can say about him right now.
Yeah. I can think of a better word. Wanker.
Yes. Oh, James, you've sworn. Rodney,
you haven't put your monetisation on, have you, Kate?
No, I haven't. I don't bother. I just do not bother. Rodney put a good question. He put, I keep hearing about this number 6. Nobody drops names who fit. For me, I keep saying his name, but I don't think it'll happen. It's Zubimendi. I just really, really like him. I think he'd be brilliant for us. Elly, have you got any ideas of who you'd like in the number 6 position?
Yeah, Højbjerg. I'm only joking. Now, do you know what? I think Sarr should play it, and we shouldn't buy another number 6. Or if we do get another number 6, it'll have to be someone like. Do you know who I like? Is that Damsgaard at Brentford? Right. I know he's not a number 6. I know he's not a number 6, but we could play Sarr there. That Damsgaard, he's a very, very good footballer, and he's only 23, I think now. But no, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. But I think Sarr would suit that role presently, and then just have Skip as a backup to him. Not even a backup, a squad player to him. Because Skip's quite versatile, and I think he's tenacious. You know, he can do that role because it's a simple role for him. Because you don't have to do anything flashy. You just got to retain the ball and move it quickly, which he's good at. There's nothing fancy about Skip's football, is there? About his play. So I think no, there's no one else that stands out in my mind.
Chang, have you got someone in your head you'd like as our number 6?
There is a name actually, and this is a name that I've been following since the previous season, the season in which we pipped Woolwich to 4th. This number 6's name is Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle United. I doubt it that Newcastle United will actually sell him to us, but Bruno Guimaraes, I was actually hoping that he would sort of like look towards N17, but forgo Woolwich and actually come to us. And what a shame it was that he then chose Newcastle United over any other Premier League team. But that particular season, that second last game of that season where Woolwich capitulated at St. James's Park, thank you very much, Bruno Guimaraes, for scoring the goal that effectively saw them finish outside the top 4. Even if you do not ever come to Spurs, you will forever be remembered for helping us get those words out of Mikel Arteta that we somehow might lose at Norwich. That for me is just comedy gold. So thank you, Bruno Guimaraes, for giving us that moment of finishing 4th.
Okay, I forgot. Just before you go to Jimbo, why am I so stupid today? Obviously, there's one player that stands out in my mind is Paulinho. I think he's fabulous at that number 6 role.
Yeah.
And because he's strong and powerful and he runs with the ball, he's such an all-round good player. Paulinho would be a perfect number 6 for us because he's got that shithousery. He doesn't take no prisoners, does he? Right. And you saw when he played us, he was absolutely fabulous. And the likes of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are after him. We should keep him in the Premiership at Spurs. We should really go for him because he's a fabulous number 6. He epitomises the number 6 role, in fact.
Jimbo, any thoughts on the number 6?
Well, Paulinho is a really good shout. And there's rumours, Chang, that Newcastle might have to sell him. I was reading it.
Give me up. Give that one.
I was reading it. I was reading it over the weekend.
Bruno Guimaraes. Wow, that's interesting.
There's rumours. There's rumours that he might have to go, so they can keep in the FFP and all them rules. But what about Joshua Kimmich from Bayern?
Yeah, because he's coming.
Yeah, but he won't come to us.
Well, you don't know. You don't know if you don't try, darling.
Yeah, well, we didn't think Klinsmann was going to come, and he came.
Zubimendi's got a £52 million release clause in his contract, and Arsenal were close to signing him last year, but they didn't. They got rushed. So I can see us going all out for him, but you never know. But I'd take either of the one.
If that Zubimendi comes to us, he's probably guaranteed first team football. Whereas if he goes to Arsenal, he's going to be a bench player because they're not going to drop Rice anytime soon, are they?
No. Neil Sharpton says, what about Bergvall and Valise? I don't see Valise coming into the first team next season. I don't know why. I think he'd go back down.
I see Bergvall coming in the first team, though.
Yeah, I do. Chang, what are your thoughts?
This is kind of a tough one here. Bergvall, Bergvall, we haven't seen him in a Spurs shirt at all. But Valise, at the very least, he has actually scored for us. I believe it was that 4-2 loss away at Brighton, was it? Yeah, we saw him score for us. And he looked promising, put it this way. And I can't wait to see more of him in a Spurs shirt. It's good that he is getting minutes now away on loan. And I really do hope that the first team minutes that he is getting under his belt will do him a role of a good. But if I had to choose between one of Bergvall and Valise, I would definitely go for Valise as maybe a backup to Richarlison. Provider is that we can't sell Richarlison, but yes, I would say Valise is a good backup. As for Bergvall, I think the only way forward for him is to either go out on loan, or if he really does excel and feature very prominently in our friendlies, our pre-season friendlies next season, we could see Bergvall maybe being promoted to the bench, although he will face stiff competition from a lot of the under 21s that are going to try to break into our starting 11 and our bench as well. So I will leave this to Big Ange to decide between whom the pairing of the two, Bergvall and Valise, who is ready or who isn't. But what can I say? The future is white, the future is bright, and the future is most definitely lily white.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah.
I just read that Bayern Munich have put a 51 million price tag on Kimmich this summer. 51 million pounds.
City want him and Liverpool want him. Man United have shown an interest. He's not going to choose us, Jim. I'm sorry, but he's not.
The other players have chosen us over big teams. So if you don't try, how do you know?
Not players like Kimmich. Elly, what are your thoughts on Bergvall and Valise?
Yeah, Alejo Valif. Apparently, Jose, he is Spanish. He says you have to pronounce it Valif with an F.
Belief. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. Yeah, I haven't seen enough of him in a Spurs shirt to make a really strong assumption of if he's going to be, a top player. I've seen glimpses of what he can do. Like his movement is very, very good. And he's got an eye for a goal. But I was looking at his record. He scored 19 in 59 for Rosario, but he was only 18 then. So that's not a bad return for an 18-year-old. It's a different kettle of fish in the Premiership. So he's 20 now. He's out on loan to Seville. I've got him. He's played 3 games apparently and not scored yet, but he's come off the bench once. So I've got high hopes for him because I know he's a very strong, powerful boy, and he's got he knows where the goal is. Just put it that way. Because I saw when he scored against Brighton, his movement was brilliant for that goal. Because I saw him from where he was running from, right? And I just hope he does come good because we've had so many players, haven't we, Kate and Jimbo and Chang, that are flattered to deceive when they've been like strikers.
Yeah.
We've made so many mistakes. So we need like another Jermaine Defoe, another Berbatov, that sort of player, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Valif is a big player. He's a 6'1", I think he is. So in regards to Bergvall, I'm very excited about him, guys. Because so
am I.
He's just something else, He's a brilliant footballer, technically fantastic, can carry the ball so well, dribble well, scores goals, and he's only, what is he, 18? The boy?
Yep.
18, and I think he'll cope with the Premiership because he's quite a physical specimen already. He's quite a strong-looking boy, so he's got 3 more years to grow. I just think he's going to be one to watch as well. And I reckon he might even get some game time next season because he's that good. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that prospect. Not that I'm not excited about Valif because I think he's a different player, but Bergvall looks the business.
And he's gorgeous as well. Another gorgeous face to look at.
As well.
Even though he's near enough the same age as my son, which makes me sound like a real pervert. He's so handsome.
If that makes you sound like a pervert, what about me? But no, I think he'll be one for the next 5-6 years when he even develops even more. Lucas Bergwall, wow, brilliant.
Bloody hell, I just looked at Kimmich's wages. He's on €375,000.
Yeah, no, Levy's not going.
Yeah, Levy's. I would love to have him, but I think I can forget that one. But maybe Levy, you never know. He might fall over and bang his head or something.
He'll have to be a big bang. Yes. It's like we've heard of the big bang in the universe.
James, the Tottenham fan, I would take Douglas Luiz in a heartbeat at Spurs. Jimbo, do you like Douglas Luiz from Villa?
Yeah, I like him, yeah.
Yeah. Chang?
Most definitely. The answer is very much yes from me.
Elly, Douglas Luiz?
Yeah, technically brilliant. He's got shithousery in him as well, which I like. Yeah. You know, he doesn't give up on the ball. He's like a little terrier, right? But he's technically gifted as well. So he's got both aspects of the game down to a T, Kate. So, yeah, I'd love to have him at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, me too. Alistair Gold, I think, reported this. Spurs are preparing an early bid for Conor Gallagher, looking to bid an initial £30 to £40 million for the 24-year-old midfielder. Gallagher has 12 months left and Chelsea are willing to listen to offers. Oh, this saga with Gallagher's getting on my nerves already. Elly, Gallagher the right move for Spurs, or do you think we can get more for our money?
Yes, the latter. We can get more for our money. Although I think he is a decent player, and he probably fits Ange Ball because of his tenacity and his movement, and he runs forever, doesn't he? And I think Ange likes that sort of player. So the rumours are not going to go away, are they? And I think where there's a rumour, there's a will for the club to go for him. So I don't know. I'm on the fence with him a bit because I don't think he's going to score enough from that midfield position, and I don't think he assists enough. So I think we do need better if we're going to challenge for honours, you know. So there you go. That's my assessment of him.
What do you think, Chang? Gallagher, interested, not interested, really?
Honestly, the price tag that isn't the issue with me. The issue is whether or not this player wants to be at N17 more than anything else. Because we've actually seen it time and time again with players who are just only interested in whatever move or whatever transfer that fancies them, maybe because of the wages or the opportunity or the probability or the likelihood of winning silverware and trophies. For me, if Gallagher isn't invested in Big Ange and his Ange ball system, for me that's a big no, because that for me is a major red flag when it comes to trying to get players that are supposedly the next big thing or a good suit for a club, but if their heart's not in it, sorry, my heart's not in it for them to come to N17 either.
Yeah, I agree. Jimbo, I know you're quite a big fan of Gallagher.
I like Gallagher, but you know what? I'm not an idiot. Maybe I'm not seeing something that other people are seeing, and there's so many people that are against him. So I do kind of get tunnel vision. So maybe I'm missing something, but I do like. There is a lot I like about him, but I just think it's too much money, Kate. I really do. I think for the money we can get better than Gallagher. But if he come, I wouldn't be one of these ones that would be like screaming from the rooftops, gutted, because I quite like him. I watch him play for Chelsea, and I think that he brings a lot to their team. Even though Chelsea, I've seen Mark say that he's crap, but I don't. I just see a hard-working, good footballer. But I just see so many people are against him. Maybe I'm missing something.
To be fair, you only had to watch him in an England shirt to know how crap he is. I just don't want him. No. I would much rather, like Drula says, Morgan Gibbs-White for me.
Yeah, I like him.
I know Elly likes Morgan Gibbs-White.
I love him. I think he's fabulous. He's strong, technically gifted, can score a goal, assist. He's got an all-round play that's far superior to Gallagher. Sorry, but he is. He's much better, and he's playing in a lesser team with Nottingham Forest. Although Chelsea have been pants this season, they've had glimpses of really good play, right? But Gallagher's not always like, he's not a star of their team. He's the workman, isn't he? Yeah, and we don't need a workman because we've got plenty of those, right? So we need somebody who can set the stadium alight. And this Morgan Gibbs-White, you give him a chance at a bigger club, I think he'll take it with both feet.
Yeah.
He works hard as well, Elly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a hard-working, industrious player.
Yeah, he is. I like him a lot.
Are you talking about Gallagher?
No, I'm talking about Gibbs-White.
Yeah, he is. That's why I like him, because he's got all that Gallagher's got, plus he's got the sauce on top. Yeah, I like the players with the sauce on top as well. If we're going to buy someone, go in for him, because he'll be cheaper as well. Not that the money matters, because at the end of the day, you pay what you get for. But I think with Morgan Gibbs-White, we're going to get a more talented all-round footballer.
Yeah. Rodney said Brennan Johnson. Yeah, you did. Rodney Roberts said Johnson will improve if Morgan Gibbs-White comes, which is quite possible. Samantha's put, can we all agree we don't want to sign Werner? I like him. I think I'm in the minority, and I keep I'm sticking by it, but I like him. But I'm going to go round again. Jims, do we sign him or not?
I still think that we've got to watch him for the rest of the season. I said it the other day, and I'm going to stick to that. But if he gets game time, I think that he'll do well for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Chang, do we sign Werner?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do sign Werner. I know he missed a very glaring sitter against Fulham away at Craven Cottage last Saturday, but he is one to look out for if Big Ange can get a tune out of him from between now to the end of the season. For the price that RB Leipzig are asking for him, I think if he can even get another maybe 5 or 6 assists from between now to the end of the season, despite not even having a preseason with the team, despite only coming in January, I feel that he should be at least given another chance, a whole season that is, to prove his worth. That also depends also on his contract, if and when he does sign permanently. But yeah, I'm actually one of those few, just like you, Miss Kate, who is very much for signing Timo Werner on a permanent. But you never know. A lot can happen between now and the end of the season for the next 10 games. Let's just see how Levy, the board, and Big Ange, and also the coaching staff evaluates Timo Werner. And knowing Big Ange, yes, if the player shows aptitude, if his heart is in the right place, and he's consistently being very hardworking, why not? It will be a steal, really, if he really does come good for us next season. You never know.
Yeah, agreed. Elly, sign Werner or not to sign Werner? That is the question.
Yeah, I've been looking at some of the comments in the chat, right? So I don't care about the price tag. I'm worried about whether he's going to add value either from the bench or a start. I don't think he's a starter player, because you've seen that in recent weeks. He's been dropped to the bench. I'm on the fence with him because I think he's a decent player, right? I don't think he's the answer. I think we can get a better finisher in his position, somebody who can score more goals than him. So I think we should be scouting a similar player to him with pace, but can score goals as well. Because look at the amount of goals that he's missed, not the amount of goals that he's scored, the amount of goals that he's missed. Right, he would have been in double figures, I reckon, because he missed 3 against Man United. And he missed a couple against Fulham, one glaring one and one that he shot right. He hasn't got an eye for goal in my book. He's done it in other leagues, but in the Premiership he hasn't. And I just feel we can get better. That's all. I don't think he's a bad player, though, like some people say that he's pants. He's not pants, but I just think we can get better in his position.
Yeah. Villa 1982, big up to you, says Forest have to sell for more than 40 million because they bought him for 40 million. I think you will have to spend 50 million on Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, for me, that's too much.
I think he's worth it, though.
He's worth it.
Yeah. In between 40 and 50, say 45, we'll go halfway.
Okay. Chang, do you think he'd be worth that?
This is something I would really tread with caution because we are still trying to get the best out of our last 40 or 45 million acquisition, British acquisition too, that is, in the form of Brennan Johnson. So, I mean, he could end up to be the real deal for us. You never know with a player who's making that big step from, say, a mid-table club or a promoted club to one of the top 5 or top 6. But Morgan Gibbs-White, I mean, if he really was that good, you'll be asking the question, why haven't any other club gone in for him just yet? If you get what I mean, or rather you see where I'm coming from with this.
Yeah.
If let's say Manchester City, if they see him something like, the new De Bruyne, or Manchester United, they think that he'll be a big step up from, say, a Bruno Fernandes, somewhere along those lines. If he really was that good, as good as people think he is, then maybe he would have been approached by a big club. But the very fact that he isn't, and he still is where he is right now, really thinks that maybe, just maybe, he might not be worth that amounts of money. But like I said, you still never know with players these days, especially their form that's constantly blowing hot and cold. So my judgment is still rather reserved as far as signing Morgan Gibbs-White on a permanent. But if his price is negotiable, if he is available for the right price and his wages aren't too overly demanding, who knows? He may very well be a Spurs player, just as we never thought that we'll see Brennan Johnson in Lily White. You just never know, Miss Kate.
Yep, agreed. This was broken last night. I saw this. The PFA is likely to get involved following the decision by Spurs and Newcastle to stage an end-of-season friendly in Australia. The pair will meet in Melbourne on the 22nd of May, just 3 days after the final round of Premier League matches, with both planning to take all of their international players on a 21,000-mile round trip. Southgate has already questioned this decision, and it is understood the players... the PFA will be in touch with players involved on the grounds of player welfare. Can't say I'm particularly surprised. Jimbo, do you expect the trip to be cancelled?
Yeah, I said this the other day that it's ridiculous. I know we've only played most weeks, apart from the cups. We've played one game a week, right? But it's still a long season, and they still train 6 days a week. It's a long season. To take them 3 days after, I said to UK, didn't I? The welfare, they got to think of the welfare of the players. They need to. Most of our players are going to have the Copa America or the Euros. A lot of them. It just doesn't make sense to me why they would do it. Honestly, what money are they going to make out of it? It's nice for the Australian fans, but when they've done the pre-season, they could have. They're going to Asia, so they could have dropped into Australia and done a game.
They said it's a multi-million-pound trip.
Well, how much money did you put on people's welfare? If someone said to me that you can have £1 billion or Kate can be cured of her illness, I would say I want Kate cured from her illness. You mean you can't put money on these guys? You can't put money on these guys' welfare. It's a hard season for them, and the training's hard. To take them 3 days after, to me, is just absolutely ludicrous.
Sod that, Jimbo. Take the £1 billion. I'll just suffer with my illness. At least I'll suffer on a beach. Chang, what do you think? Do you think they might potentially cancel the trip or make us only take our youth players?
I really do hope they cancel a trip. I mean, this whole major PR cock up is, I mean, just when you thought Levy and Co couldn't get any worse from increasing the ticket prices and canceling out the concessions for the elderly, then along you get this. Because honestly, I honestly cannot remember another season in which we've actually started our preseason in a continent or a country over here and then over in Australia and then going back again to Australia at the end of the season. That's just a big no-no for me. So I really do hope this gets cancelled because I really can't see this going through. And as far as the players' welfare is a step too far in the wrong direction for me, Miss Kate.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Elly, what are your thoughts, lovely?
Yeah, so basically, our last match is on Sunday, the 19th of May, and they propose to play this one on the 22nd of May. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's free. And then we start our career tour on August the 7th. Sorry, August
Correct.
the 2nd, where we play Bayern Munich. So, do you know what? I think it's still going to go ahead, whatever the FA say, because the players, they're not going to refuse going because it's a money spinner for them as well. Right? I just think there's so much money in football now that it drives everything, doesn't it, really? I think that meeting will come up with a better suggestion, maybe to move it to later on in the season, later on after the season ends, sorry. Probably maybe in June rather than May. I think they might have but it will go ahead because it is a money spinner, Kate. And that's what football's been driven by nowadays. So it's a sad fact that it is. So it is what it is. And, you know, I think for them to go to Australia, what I said before is that they should have done it a little mini tour and given the Australian fans, because some fans don't live in Melbourne and they have to pay. There was one guy, he said he had to pay $1,000 to get over there, and another €70 for 70 whatever the Australian economy had for the ticket, and then another couple of hundred. So it would have cost him £1,300 to go. So they should have really done a tour for Sydney and for all the big states, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe had 3 games instead of just 1.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying, Elly.
And did it in mid-June, say, so they got 2 months until they start in August again.
Yeah. Chang, Potato Stew said, Mr. Chang, did you manage to get to the beach this weekend because it's hot there?
Yeah. So instead of going to the beach, I actually went to the mountains. I had my youngest brother just had his wedding up in the mountains of Genting here in Malaysia, and it was really cool up there compared to the sweltering 35, 36, even 37, 38 degrees Celsius that we are getting here in the city. It was a very nice, cool 24, 23 degrees Celsius up in the mountains. So that was a good getaway. But yeah, immediately upon returning, we are I'm back to burning under the sun here at the construction site at Kuala Lumpur, and it was a good trip. Make no mistake about it. And my daughters really enjoyed that because they have never been under such chilly climates anywhere in their life here in Malaysia. So it really put a smile on my face. And that really made the weekend for me, despite there not being any Spurs matches. So thank you very, very much, Mr. Potato Stew, for that question.
Okay, right. Chang was like sweating like a beaver, right, on the stream, and he had this cloth and he was wiping off the sweat. Honestly, he was like melting in front of me. But he still carried on like a trooper, Chang is.
Of course. Lee Smithy Smith has sent me that and said there's links all over Twitter today with Jack Grealish. Jimbo, would you take Grealish?
I'd take Grealish in a heartbeat. I tell you what, the one thing that I absolutely hate Levy for is when he wouldn't pay that extra few million for Grealish. It was such a good price, and I said to you at the time, Kate, if Levy pays the money for him, in 2 years' time he's going to be worth treble that. And then what did he sell for? 100 million. I could never forgive Levy for that. That's for sure. I will take Grealish in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Chang, what are your thoughts on Jack Grealish? I'd take him purely to the fact that I could look at them legs all day when he plays. But yeah, what's your thoughts, Chang?
100%. Everything Mr. James Boxer just mentioned about Grealish before Villa sold him was even before he came to Villa, I believe. Even before Villa bought him. What was that? 2017, 2018, whatever year that was. I mean, it was clear for all to see that there was definitely a talent in him. And when Manchester City bought him for something like £100 million, I was thinking, you know what, Levy, you may claim that Dele Alli cost only 5 million, and what we made up or what we got out of him and what we sold him for justified that 5 million. But for Jack Grealish, this is a big missed opportunity. The same way I could say we missed big time on Kim Min-jae from Galatasaray before he went to Napoli. So this is another one of those mistakes in a long line of big mistakes made by Levy and the board when it comes to signing players. But honestly, though, you can't really fault Levy looking at how he had some very bad deals with the likes of Jet Spence and Ndombele and also say Vincent Janssen and Roberto Soldado before that. So just maybe he can be given the benefit of the doubt just this once. But if we given the offer to sign Jack Grealish, yes, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Elly,
I can't.
Oh, sorry, Jimbo, go on.
Chang, I can't give him no leeway for the Grealish one, because at that time, Grealish was on telly every other week for Villa, and he was just unplayable at times. So for that one, Levy gets no leeway from me for that one, none.
Jimbo has spoken. Elly, what's your thoughts on Grealish?
Elly's spoken there, right? So I'm with you with the calves and the legs. Yeah, I'm on that train, and I'm on the train that is good for my heart and my eyes as well. Because watching Jack Grealish play, he's he's a brilliant footballer all round. And like I had my song practiced as well. He was born to play for Spurs. Jack Grealish, Jack Grealish. Hey, he was born to play for Spurs. And he really was. Why didn't we sign him for an extra 5 million? So I'm not on agreement with Chang about that one either. But he's Levy. I can't say that he made a massive mistake, but I can't get on the
massive.
I can't forgive him for that, because 5 million is a massive mistake for 5 million.
Yeah.
So. I can't, and I just love the way Grealish is as well. His personality, the way he loves playing football, winning that treble for his second season. Really, the first season he didn't really get a look in so much. He was sort of a bit part player, but the second season he was rocking, and they did the treble. And there, which I find very strange, he doesn't get in the team. The only thing I can think about that why Pep's keeping him out is because of his off-field shenanigans. That's the only thing I can think of. But he's getting older. Right, in time he'll mature even more, and those off-field shenanigans will come to a close. But do you know what? With Grealish, I think he'll bring so much flair to our team, and he can score goals as well. So I'm all up for it. I just hope that it's not too expensive and Levy runs away from it again.
Yeah. One more thing I wanted to touch on. Michael Bridges revealed that discussions are ongoing between Tottenham and Hummins regarding a contract renewal. However, there's been no positive update despite talks being initiated quite a few weeks ago. It is expected that Saudi Pro League clubs will target Spurs captain Sonny in the hope of getting him to move. Jimbo, do you expect Sonny to sign a new deal?
No,
or are you
Sonny won't leave Spurs.
There you go.
He won't never leave Spurs. He'll finish his career at Tottenham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Jimbo spoken. Chang, thoughts on Sonny?
Yeah.
Absolutely everything Mr. James said there again. I think this is like the third or fourth time in a row I've agreed with everything Mr. James has said. Because as far as Sonny goes, he is, for me, Mr. Tottenham.
Yeah.
When Kane was heavily linked with a move to Manchester City, when Gary Neville had that interview with him on the golf course, you could see that things weren't all that rosy over at Spurs, even after we had hired Nuno Espirito Santo. And yet, of all those big names that we had with us, the first person to sign on the dotted line to extend his contract is none other than current club captain Son Heung-min. And I would again like to repeat word for word everything that Mr. James just said, that I would love nothing more than to see Son Heung-min finish his career at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
You're going to see that, Chang, because he will finish his career at Tottenham. He'll never leave Tottenham.
100%.
Elly, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree 100% with Senor Boxall up there. Right. I just think Son Heung-min, he oozes Tottenham Hotspur. Every last crevice of his body is Spurs, right? He will never leave us. He loves Spurs with a passion. When we lose in big finals or just generally, he's the first one. You can see it on his face, right? And he cries. I like it when he cries. It shows that you care, right? There's people say, man up, man up. No, it shows that the boy, he loves our club. And whoever's saying that he isn't a good captain, they can do one as well, because he is Mr. Tottenham Hotspur to me. You know, he goes on that pitch and he gives his all. You see how he runs for the team, right? When we're losing a game, like he runs. And sometimes he's running and he wastes his energy and he hasn't got any more energy left, you know. So I love Sonny. I think he's been fabulous ambassador for the club as well. And when we go to South Korea, look how many thousands and thousands of fans greet him at just the airport. You know, they're not coming. They're coming to see Spurs, but they're really coming to see Sonny.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you said. I'm going to go around and just ask for a name. If Tottenham could make one statement signing, who would you want that statement signing to be? Elly, I'll go back to you first.
Oh, now you put me on the spot. Jack Grealish.
Oh, Chang, who would yours be?
There's one name only that comes to mind when you talk about statement signing, and that would be none other than one of our own, Harry Kane. Whatever we paid Bayern Munich for, just splash the cash for him, Levy. This is your one big chance at redemption. We are this close. We are this close to actually getting the most out of Big Ange and Ange Ball. If we needed a goal scorer, if we needed a big game player, Harry Kane would absolutely he'd tick all those boxes and fill that role with ease. Although the next best big money signing or marquee signing, and this might come as a surprise, but I actually have a liking towards Robert Lewandowski. If he is fit and still in his prime, I think it's something like 34 or 35. But if Barcelona are willing to sell him, why not? Let's take a punt on Robert Lewandowski and see if he can replicate his form in the Bundesliga and also the La Liga over at N17. So for me, it's definitely got to be a big money striker or a forward to come to N17, and it will be either one of Kane or Lewandowski if I had my way.
Good calls. Jimbo?
Can I be delusional?
Are you going to say Mbappe?
No, Kimmich I'd love to have him. But I'm going to be realistic. Paulinho, I think.
Yeah.
I think that
good, fantastic addition.
Yeah, I think that he would take us another step up, having him in the team with some other new players coming in.
I think mine would be the same. Isak from Newcastle.
Yeah,
oh my God, I'd love to have him.
Player.
Oh my God.
And he's been in this struggling team as well, and he's still scoring. That's the sign of a very good striker.
We've had some great calls though. We've got Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, Osimhen. A couple said he said Zubamendi. Samantha said, and one of mine, Benzema, Eze, Grealish.
That would have been my second choice, Eze.
Yeah,
I think Grealish is further down his career in experience than Eze.
Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah, Glenn Hoddle. Someone else said Paulinho. But yeah, I mean, we can all dream. But yeah, Isak, we could have had him as well. He didn't go for that much money. It's madness.
He's very technically gifted as well. I would say he's the most technically gifted striker in the league. Isak, he's fabulous. The way he receives the ball.
I know. I mean, I'm amazed that Lily White Lane. Robbie said he'd have Solanke. I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. Honestly, I wouldn't. I think he's had one good season. I think he'd go back to being average next year. But yeah, Paulinho again. We did have one more question. I'll try and quickly squeeze it in before we.
Jose's question.
Yeah.
I've got an answer to that.
If we get 100 million for Son, 60 mil for Richie from the Saudi clubs, would you not sell and reinvest all of that money plus other sales and what we have in the pot to revolutionise the squad? Go on, Jimbo.
I would, I would Richie. Well, I would definitely Richie get the money back that much for Richie because I think you could buy a real top striker that scores regular for that. But not Sonny because I think Sonny he brings more money into the club anyway than 100 million. So with all the fans from abroad, all the Asian fans, all the English fans that love him, right? So I for me, there's no money that could buy Sonny for me. I wouldn't sell him no matter what. He is Mr. Tottenham. So to me, he's in the class of as his importance to Tottenham. Right, he's in the same brackets to me as Gaza, Hoddle, people like that. That's how important he is to Tottenham, not just because of his football, because what he does for the club off the pitch as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyone else want to? I mean, I wouldn't sell him. Yeah. I'd sell Richie if we could get somebody as good. But
same here, Kate. Yeah, same here, Kate. Sell Richie, keep Sonny. Sonny's our ambassador off the pitch, like Jimbo said. He's just oozes. He's a Tottenham Hotspur man through and through.
He's going to go down as a legend, Elly, with people like Hoddle.
And you've got to look at his record, right? He's scored so many goals for us. He's 5th top scorer so far, but I reckon he'll get up into the top 2, right, by the time he finishes his career. Because I can see him going at least another 3 seasons with his fitness and the way he looks after himself. And his father as well will keep him in tune as well. And also the things that he does off the pitch, they're remarkable. And all those fans that come over to watch him, right, they spend so much money and bring so much money into our club. If we lose him, like Jimbo said, 100 million's a snip what he brings in, you know?
Yeah.
But as a player, I'm going as a player. We'd lose a fabulous player.
I think John James sums it up here. Sell Son, you'll lose more than just a player. The club would be in disrepute. Son is much more than just a player at Spurs.
Yeah,
do you agree, Chang?
He goes down into legendary status, Kate. He's a legend of Tottenham. You can't sell someone like him. You can't.
And just like that, that's about the 5th or the 6th statement by Mr. James that I completely agreed with. This whole show should just be me. Because it's like we're telepathic. I don't know what it is between us today, but this position with him above, he's saying everything above, and it's all filtering down to me. And there's nothing else for me to add because it's pretty much just sharing everything.
Sit on your lap, Chang.
Do you know what the thing is, Chang? Jimbo and I don't know if I've frozen. Have I frozen? No, I'm back. Jimbo and I have been married nearly 20 years, and I haven't agreed with him that many times in the 20 years. So maybe we're not that well suited after all. If they're offering absurd amounts for Salah,
I reckon there's a marriage proposal in the offing. You're about the same age, aren't you?
Yeah, not far off. Yeah, everyone's saying Sonny's staying. 60 million plus Richarlison for Isak. Yes, please. Yes, please.
100%.
Right, I have redirected everyone over to Ben's. Chang, when can we find you next, my lovely?
So I'm scheduled to do a 11 a.m. Wednesday morning show with Miss Ash Patmaraj, provided she has returned from her weekend wedding. We will be doing our view from Asia at 11 a.m. On Wednesday. And apart from that, I'm also looking forward to yet another watch along over on Talk and Ball. You can find a link below, and also on Spursion TV. That should be a cracker, because Spurs really have to get back to winning ways by hook or by crook this coming weekend. I know we are not doing a preview show just yet, but I can just feel it, the energy, just the vibes from the players who were so down and despondent after the game, that you can bet your house and your mortgage that the lads will give their all just to get back to winning ways and look to build upon everything that they've done this season, just to be back in the reckoning for top four, which is still very much in the hands. So these are the next two shows that will be on with Miss Ash this Wednesday at 11 over at Talk and Ball, LTL Cockerel, and also the weekend watch along on Talk and Ball, LTL Cockerel, and Spursration TV as well. Thank you very, very much once again for having me on your lovely channel, Mr. and Mrs. Boxel.
Anytime. Well, obviously next Monday you'll be back with us, and we'll be able to actually do a Premier League recap because the games are back. Yeah. Elly, when can we find you next?
Yeah, so I'm on with Ash on Friday. I know that. Am I on with you anytime else this week, or is it next week we do the Premier League preview?
No, you're on Friday as well, aren't you, with me?
It's Friday, yeah. Come on.
The preview.
Yeah, bring it on. I love it. I love that preview show. It's brilliant. And we get a lot of people tuning in on that one as well.
We do.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this week as well, because I like to have Spurs back in my life. I get a bit sad when I have to watch international football, and also I was just thinking about Chelsea and Man United, how pants they've been, and they've made the FA Cup semi-final, and that could have been us playing in those FA Cup semi-finals at Wembley. Unlucky Gary Mabbott drew us against Manchester City, but he did give us a home draw, and we bloody lost it, didn't we? By 88th minute goal they took to beat us. So when Chang said we're not far off, right? We need a little tweak here, a little tweak there, and I think next season I'm looking forward to, us doing something, winning a trophy. I really do believe in that as well.
100%. Jimbo, when are you next back?
It don't really matter when I'm next back, does it? I'm back, but I just use my little slot just to say well done to the ladies winning 1-0.
Oh yeah.
Well done to the ladies winning 1-0.
That myself. Yeah, they beat Bristol City 1-0. Beth England scored the goal. Fabulous move as well. Brilliant move. And I've seen a really good progression with the way we're playing football. We've added some really good players, especially Gracie Clinton. I just hope we can sign her from Man United, because she's on loan at the moment. But I can't see Man United letting her go, because she's made it to the England team as well, and she scored on her debut. But everything's looking rosy at Spurs. We're only, I think we're 5 points off third place, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
Excellent. Well, I think I'm not sure if I'm on the terrace tonight. I've got to check, but if not, I don't even know if we're back tomorrow. Are we back tomorrow, Jimbo?
We can do a show tomorrow if you want, darling.
I know that on Wednesday, Dave, the Irish Hotspur, is due to be on. Hopefully his internet holds up. Thank you so much, Elly and Chang, for joining us today.
Pleasure.
I love this show. It's one of my very favourites. Thank you to everyone that's come in. Please do smash a like on the way out. Have a brilliant afternoon. And stay where you are, and you'll be redirected to Ben's, and you can just put hashtag just a girl who loves Spurs or whatever you like. Just let them know that we sent you over. Have a great day, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.